Okay, I want to have another attempt at doing a quiz using jQuery and Flask. So in my Flask directory, and I've just simplified this so that now if I reload quiz, it's just completely blank. So I'll just show you the files I've got. Here's my server. So my server has got code at the bottom. It's got a route to quiz, and that just renders a template, quiz.html. Passes no parameters, so quiz.html is standard. And my template quiz looks like this. Okay, nothing in it. Okay, so I want to do some jQuery. So I want to do jQuery from Flask, then I will need my script, so in the head. So I need a head element. And inside the head, I'll want a reference to jQuery, so that's script, source equals, and I want to pick up the, I'll pick it up from CDN. And if I remember correctly, it's something like https://code.jquery.com/jQuery -min.js. I think that's right. On my own script. So I have to be a little bit careful here. I'm using Flask, and the best place to put that, to find that, is in /static/quiz.js/script. Okay, so that should load in the script. While I'm at it, let's have a link to a style sheet. So was it rel equals style sheet, I think. And then I think it is href equals, again, I'm going to put it in static/quiz.css. Okay, so that's two files in there. I want static, so I've got to make up static quiz and static quiz.js, quiz.css, and quiz.js. Okay, and let's make up a div here somewhere to put the question. Div question /div. That should be id equals question. id equals question. So I'm going to write jQuery to put the question in there, into that slot. Okay, so very little going on there. Let's put on debugging and reload this. And I was expecting more errors than that because I've got a reference to jQuery. That probably worked. Let's have a look at the elements. There's nothing in the head. No, that didn't work. Reload. Okay, maybe I need to just change the server. If I touch server, maybe that will force it to reload. That's better. Okay, so I'm getting some errors here, which I should get. So, quiz.js not found, that's right. Did it pick up the, no, I don't want that, I want network. So, network. That's quiz, no, I didn't find that either, so I've got that address wrong. Let me look that up. It could be that the address is only slightly wrong. I think maybe it's not minus, maybe that's a dot. Let's try that and touch the server again and see if it loads. Yep, okay, I picked up the jQuery this time, so I picked up the jQuery, no problem. But quiz.js has given me an error and static has given me an error. It seems to have made another attempt to load quiz. Who knows? So let's make up static. Oh, I don't have a folder called static. Okay, better create a folder called static. And then vi static, and I want quiz.css. not ready for anything much in there yet. Let's just set the font family Arial. I'm sure that's deeply unfashionable by now. And I also want quiz.js. Insert, so my favorite phrase, it goes $function bump bump bump, and in here, this is where I can put the stuff. So console.log hello world, just to check that everything's working. Okay, so quit and touch the server and reload. Okay, font's changed. Favicon is the only error. I'm not going to bother with that. No, I'm not going to bother with that. The fact that that's not found, that's fine. Okay, so did hello world print? Yes, there's hello world. Okay, so my jQuery, my JavaScript is working. All right, in this example, what I want to do is to show a flag and ask you what country it is. So I'm going to pick up a country first, and I'm just going to pinch one from world. So here's my list of countries. Let's find a country. Let's look for Myanmar. Okay, here's Myanmar. Can we see that? All the details of Myanmar. Excellent. So Myanmar starts here and ends there. So just selecting it, I'm using putty, so selecting that has kind of copied the text. So if I quit that and I open static quiz.js, okay, I'm going to make a global variable. I'm going to replace this. I don't want this to happen. So this is my country. I've got one country. I'm going to call it C, and I'll right click to paste the details of Myanmar. Okay, so C is one typical country. Okay, and that means inside this function I've got access to that country C. Change dollar. Okay, so I want it to, okay, so the thing I want to do, I want to put this flag in place. All right, so I want to pick up this value here. So c.flag or c.flag will do it. That should put an image in place. So I could do something like $img source. And so if I talk about c.flag, okay, so that's created an element, an img element that should have the right source, and I can add that to my question. So I can say dot append to, and I made up a node, if you remember, I made up a div and I called that question, I think. So hash question, too many quotes. So that should insert into the question node that image. Let's try it. Reload. Excellent. Okay, so there's the image put in place. I want a little bit more than that. I want the image to be smaller, and I'm going to do that in CSS. So vi static, I think maybe I'll have two of these windows open. So duplicate session. That's too big. Let me try and get the right size. Okay, so vi static, nope, got a cd to the right place. So that's public and Flask. And vi static, it was quiz.css. Okay, and this one will be vi static quiz. Okay, so let's change the CSS to make that image smaller. So I say img, and I'm going to set the width equal to 100 pixels, a little bit small. Write that out and reload this. That's better. So I want it to say, name this country. So what's the name of, or what country's flag is this? Something like that. So That put the image in place. Let's make up another node to ask the question. So the node I'm going to make up is a div node. Okay, and its text will be name the country. I like that, and I will add that dot append to question. That looks good. Name the country, and then we've got the flag. Okay, so let's reload. Oh, syntax error, line 3. Syntax error, line 3. Yeah, that should be text. Text, name the country. Reload. Nope, still didn't like it. I spelled append wrong. Append to. Can you see I'm looking at the error down here? It said append to is not a function. It should be a node. Should have been append to. Write that and reload. Name the country. Okay, and let's put in a space so that someone can type in the answer. Okay, so to do that, I want an input node. So input. Okay, the input node is, well, no, that'll do for the moment. Dot append to question. Okay, let's reload. Okay, and here's a space for me to put in Myanmar, which is the right answer. Okay, so I want the system to respond. I want it to tell me if I've got the answer right or not. Also, I don't like the way I've done this. Can you see I've got append to question, question, question. I'm going to turn that around. What I'm going to do is start off with $question, and then I'm going to chain together a whole bunch of appends. So this will be dot append, and don't need that, and this will be dot append, and don't need that, and again dot append, and don't like that. And because I want this to be on another line, maybe I will insert a BR here as well. So after the flag, I'm going to dot append, and I'll just put in a BR node there, a line break. Let's take a look, reload. Okay, so the user clicks here and they can type in France and that's wrong, or they can type in Myanmar and that's right. Okay, so I want the system to check somehow. How can I do that? Well, I could put a button in. I quite like the mouse up function. I'll avoid a button if I can. So this thing here, I want it to have a mouse up function. And I'm going to put that in here. No, not mouse up, key up. So key up. So this is a function that should trigger whenever the keyboard is released. How do I see if it's working? Let's try console.log. Okay, so I want to log whatever has been typed in. Now I haven't named this input, but because I can use the this function or the this object, I can take care of that because this is the thing that I'm creating. Or no, this is the thing that the key up happened on. So I can say dollar this, which should be an input node, and I can get the contents of that. Now, if it was a normal HTML node, I would use .text, but because it's an input node, I will use .val. So console.log should type whatever I've typed in, should come up there. Let's write that out and reload. Okay, so let's try typing in France. Can you see every time I pressed a key, every time I released a key, then whatever happened so far came up. So I pressed F and then FR and then FRA and then France. Wow, I typed that so fast. The C and E, it didn't have time to do a key up between the C and E. That's quick typing. So what I'm going to do is check to see if the answer is right every single time. So I'm going to check if this word France equals what it should be, which is Myanmar. So I could type in Myanmar, and by the time I type in that last R, it should spot that I've got the country name right and give me congratulations. No penalty for getting it wrong, but you get congratulations if you get it right. So what I'll do is say if, okay, so I want this thing here, that value, to equal the name of the country, which crops up here. So that's c.name. Okay, so if it's that, I really don't like the alerts, but it'll work here. Then we alert. Well done. Okay, so these alerts, we never have them in production code. They're annoying and they're bingy and bongy. Okay, let's try it. I type in France, I get no response. I type in Mayan, and when I do the final R, it tells me well done. I've got that right. Excellent. So I like that kind of quiz. Okay. So this is the basis of what I want. I think I'm going to pause the video here, and in the next we'll look at some options for extending this a little bit further. So I'm going to stop here. I'm going to do git add static. That should add those files that I had. Git commit -m. What did I do? I started jQuery version of the quiz, and I'll do the -a, and I'll do git push and come back later for the next video.